Hey guys, how we doing? Everybody out in TGD land, we got a super crazy windy situation going on here. If you're watching my Instagram stories, you know that I'm headed to NOLA in just a little bit. We'll actually headed to the gym and then Sharkies and then NOLA. So busy morning, crazy. Flying out to NOLA at 1. So gotta get to the airport super early, get everything all squared away. Anyways, I want to come out here, shoot a little video for you guys and talk about some stuff that I hope will be helpful for you guys. Excuse the Invisaligns. Teeth are getting straighter. That's a plus. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the hybrid like hat, sweatshirt. If you look from here and then like sandals and jammies on the bottom, right? Come on, man. That's how I roll. Anyways, so if you just see me from here up, it's like, yeah, I'm out on the town. And then you see me down here. Is it bedtime yet? Anyways, hopefully you can hear me, guys. It's super windy, so I'm hoping it won't be too like. Anyways, want to wrap. We've talked so much about the messy middle. It's been a concept that a lot of people have really grabbed onto. I've talked about it a lot with dog training, and that the messy middle is that place where dogs are transitioning, where they're going from old bad habits or challenging ways or wherever they're stuck at, and then slowly moving through that into new spaces, new patterns, new habits, new mindset, new attitude, all that stuff. And that process can be really messy. And I've gotten such great feedback on that. I think for a lot of people, the messy middle, watching their dogs transition, has been really hard. They weren't sure if they were doing it right. They weren't sure if it was appropriate, if dogs should look messy. And then we've talked and compared it to, human beings going through things like drug withdrawal or major life transitions, things like that, and how us humans were, of course, very used to and conditioned to seeing us be in difficult situations, and it makes perfect sense when we see us. So you see a human being that's going through drug withdrawals, you know what that's going to look like. You know it's going to be ugly. You know it's going to be rough. And with the dogs, we've been challenged to see that same thing. It's not an exact parallel because the dogs aren't on drugs, but they're on a kind of drug. They're on a emotional, addiction of bad habits, right? So, but this isn't about dogs. It is and it is. Everything's about dogs, but it isn't. It's really about. I was just thinking about this the other day as I was responding to somebody, and they were talking about the messy middle with their dogs, and I was just thinking about how much the messy middle applies even without drug addiction, even without that kind of heavy duty, like, that's a really heavy, like, polarized example, right? Like coming off heroin, that's everybody's like, I get that. But I want to talk about the messy middle of more regular life. The messy middle of so currently right now, there's tons of transition going on here for me personally, tons of stuff happening. It's all positive, it's all good stuff in the macro sense, in the large sense, but in the micro, in the current, in the dealing with it, it's a lot of messiness. It's a lot of, we've got so much good stuff going on with the new book coming out. It's like, that's so crazy exciting. And T3 was just a sold out extravaganza, and business is doing fantastic in LA and New Orleans. Things are going so well in so many ways. But of course, like everybody else in the world, underneath all that, there's still plenty of problems. There's issues, there's things that need to be tackled. And like most of you, they tend to kind of come in waves. And so for me right now, I'd say that I'm in the messy middle, and anybody who's close to me and is we've been texting or talking or calling or emailing, whatever, knows that that I've been going through processing a whole bunch of new stuff, big changes, things like that. And it's messy, guys. It's not easy. I don't want this to be I guess what I want to get across the most is that we're all in good company with this messiness. even when you're doing great things, even when you're trying to do great things, even as you're like pushing forward, don't be surprised, don't be bummed out, don't be let down, don't feel like other folks that are out, you know, that you're watching on social media or on TV or whatever, that they don't have their messy middle. We all have the messy middle as we transition from one space to another. And for me, this is a huge time of transition, so much going on. And like I said, I'm a big believer in that the roughest, hardest, most challenging stuff is always the biggest gift. It's always the stuff that leads to something more special, something that you would resist and it would be uncomfortable, but then after it gets pushed through, especially if you don't have a choice about it, you find yourself in a situation where you're like, ah, thank God that all like came to pass. Thank God that all worked out, because oftentimes with the messy middle, we can't see past what's in front of us. We can't see past our present of what's working or how we've managed to kind of cultivate a life or a business or a plan or, you know, daily patterns. We can't see past that to what would be down the road. And that's why it's always so scary. That's why as human beings hold on to stuff so much, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not great, even if it's really painful, we hold on to it because the pain we know is better than the pain we don't know. And I'm here to try and tell you and remind myself that the pain, if you're in a situation that's uncomfortable or painful or not working for you, it isn't better than the pain of going through it and getting to the other side. It's not. I'm here to remind all of us, myself included, that like I've always said, the worst stuff that's ever happened, the most challenging stuff that's ever happened, I'm not saying this is the worst stuff that's ever happened to me right now, but in the past, the worst stuff that's ever happened has always led to the best. And I'm just such a huge believer in that. And so I just wanted to rap about that and share with you guys that, like, although there's all these amazing, fantastic, great things going on, I don't know if my life has ever been in so much kind of transition and change and upheaval, but I know it's all moving in a good direction because I trust it. I trust the process. I trust that the discomfort is because something's not right. The discomfort and the tension or the pain or the not working, whatever it might be for you or for me, is the compass saying, hey, we got to adjust, we got to tweak, we got to move in a different direction. And then of course we're like, no, let's not move. This is okay. We're all right. We're getting by. We're surviving. We're doing okay. But that's not where awesomeness lives. Awesomeness doesn't live in we're okay. We're all right. Let's hang tough. We can deal with this. That's crappy. That's the crappy level, right? And I'm not saying what you have is crappy, but that's the crappy level of goals and expectations and acceptance. And the awesome, amazing, cool level is the level where we say, this doesn't feel right, this isn't good, this doesn't work, this isn't as good as it could be, I deserve better, I want more, here's my real goal. And a lot of this comes down to worthiness, a lot of this comes down to, you know, self-confidence, self-worth, what you feel you're entitled to, what your programming has been. And if you feel like you don't deserve much, then you typically will accept an awful lot that's less than the best. And so I think we all need to push to look for the best and demand the best and be brave. I'm telling you guys, like, this maybe is the best part of this message. Be brave, courageous, and bold enough that when things aren't right, that you say they're not right and you acknowledge them. And it's something I'm always trying to, I will always be trying to improve and get better at this, always. I don't foresee a future where it's like, boom, it's easy. I foresee this always being a challenge, but getting to the point where you can walk into a space in your life and say, this isn't as good as it should be. This isn't up to the standard of what I want. This isn't serving me at the highest level. I want more, and I don't mean stuff. I want more as far as I want better for me. I want to be in alignment with my highest self. I want my world to reflect how I feel and what I like, so I can feel exceptional in my world, in my daily existence. And having that courage to take what's currently happening and then be able to step away from it and embrace the unknown and step off that cliff, whew, it takes a lot of courage, guys. A lot of courage. And so I've just been going through a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know where, like, I'm good, I'm safe, I'm fine, I'm healthy, everything's great, but just changes, lots of changes, organizational changes, all sorts of changes, but they're all for the best. And what I see is a lot of times they end up coming as kind of something that hasn't been me deciding this isn't right, let's change it. It's been me allowing things to get bad enough, or not working enough, or tense enough, or uncomfortable enough, or just not working enough to where it changes on its own. And that's a crappy habit. And that's a habit that, like I said, I'm always working on. And I think most of us can identify with that, of whether it's in a relationship or business or friendship or whatever. You wait long enough until it gets so bad that there's no other route, there's no other option. But how much cooler and how much more empowering and how much of a higher level of aspiring to, like, living your life at an amazing level, if instead of waiting for things to become so crappy that they have to change, that you see things and go, that's not right for me. I'm gonna empower myself. I'm gonna make moves proactively rather than retroactively or reactively. And so that's kind of that, guys. The messy middle happens to us all. We're all in it as we're trying to find our way. Maybe the messy middle never ends. The messy middle is life. The messy middle is constantly working to get from squeaky trees, constantly working to get from where you're at to where you want to be, to your highest self, your best self, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your being in alignment with yourself, your goodness, your happiness, and accepting nothing less than that. And I think those that have gone out and created that, that's really been their blueprint. Their blueprint has been, this is what I want, this is what I feel I deserve, and I won't accept any less, and I'll adjust and tweak until I make those things come to pass. And I think those that lead a less than stellar life like that just kind of allow things to transpire, allow things to happen, allow things to kind of like blow up and then have to be dealt with. And I know personally, I don't want to be one of those. I'm getting better at it, definitely. I used to be the worst. I used to just like, we'll just sit tight on this until it blows up. And so really working hard on it. And I just wanted to share this thing with you from me. And I know we all, like, that's the coolest thing about these videos that we share together, is that it's so universal, you know? We all have some version of this that we can identify with. My only encouragement is that you know you're not alone. You know everybody's in the messy middle as they try and navigate life. That's just the price of admission of doing this thing. But I'd love to encourage you guys to feel comfortable that it's happening, but start to become proactive in making decisions about how to best serve yourself, rather than letting the world serve you whatever it does. You start deciding what you want, rather than walking into a restaurant and having them just bring you whatever they want for you to eat. You pick out on the menu. That's what I want. I want that. They're like, no, no, no. How about this? You're like, no, no. I know me. I want that. And I want that. And I want that. And I want that. Because those are what I like. And those are the things that make me happy. And I think that's a good analogy. Just came to me. I like that one. So start picking from the menu what you want for your life, rather than letting the restaurant, which is the world, the universe, people around you, than letting it dictate. If we can all start picking what we want and going after it and believing we deserve it, imagine the stuff we might just pull off. All right, guys, Sean, the good dog, just my miscellaneous ramblings as things are going down, and trying to navigate life as best I can, and trying to share it with you guys, and hope that there's some kernel or piece in there that might be helpful, that might help someone else connect an idea or something like that. And it's always good for me just to share with you guys. You're my unpaid therapist. Sorry, guys. And hope all is well. Love you all. Thanks for the support on the book. It means so much. I cannot believe how many books we've already sold. It's crazy. It's almost time to reorder, which is just mind-blowing. And so I so appreciate you guys, and love you all. And I'll check in with you guys probably from probably from New Orleans, but anybody on IG stories, you'll probably see me like on the journey down there. That's why you gotta watch IG stories, because like you get to see all the in-between little cracks of what's going on. All right, messy middle, guys. Go after it. Go get it. Pick what you want off that menu. See ya. Bye.